Hello, YouTube family. Welcome back to No More RIP, No More Residing in Poverty. My name is Ray, and I am here to bring you financial literacy information and resources that will help you break the poverty chain. First of all, give me the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and email me at info@yenonemit.com if you have any questions or comments. Also, remember, the book is available. Use Brews for Financial Success, How to Unlink the Poverty Chain. Get it. Get your information. Become financially literate. Now, what I like to talk about particularly is financial illiteracy in the African American community. And the reason is because, based on statistics, African Americans are way behind when it comes to finances and building wealth. An example would be blacks have 4% of the wealth in the country, opposed to whites who have 85% of the wealth. Blacks have a little over $4 trillion in wealth compared to whites who have $120 trillion of wealth. Now, I understand. The reason for that is because whites got a head start, over 400-year head start. And that's why we need to use the resources that would accelerate our wealth building potential by becoming financially literate. So, again, hit the subscribe button, give me the thumbs up. Let your friends know about the channel so they can become financially literate. Now, give you an example. Net worth. The average black household net worth is under $50,000. $50,000 is the average black's net worth. Even some professionals. The whites' average net worth is over $254,000. Now the figures may be a little off. I didn't check before I did the video, but I know it's within that range. So when it comes to building wealth, we need to catch up. Now, how do you start building wealth? Number one, as I always talk about, is two things that help you build wealth: good credit and low debt ratio. You combine those two things, it gives you the power to borrow money to build wealth. Remember what I said, borrow money to build wealth, not to buy material things. Use your power to build wealth for you, your family, your children's future. That's why I always use the phrase, unlink the poverty chain, because there is a link and we need to break that link. Another thing I have in the book is called environmental paralysis. Sometimes we are paralyzed because of our environment. And what I mean by that, look at your own environment. How many people that you associate with talk about building wealth? How many of them focus on building wealth? Not just focus on getting a better paid job, but focus on building wealth. Not buying material things, minimizing what you're spending. Increase your wealth by investing your money into real estate, stocks, bonds, other assets. Now, I am a advocate of real estate investing because for the average person, that's one of the quickest ways to build personal wealth. One of the ways, not the way, but one of the easiest ways. And the reason I say that, when you look at the history, most people who become wealthy, they become wealthy because of real estate. In some cases, it's not even real estate investing. It's just that they purchased a home, they kept the home for X amount of years, the home appreciated, and they end up with wealth. Example, California I like to use, but since it's a high dollar state property for us, the property. Years ago, I said let's go back to and go and Google it. In some areas of Southern California, you could buy a nice home for less than $80,000. Just say, let's go back 25 years ago. Now those homes are going for maybe close to $1 million or over $1 million. Now you take that, you combine all the people who live in Los Angeles or whatever county, and they've had their homes for the last 25 years. How much equity do they have in those properties if they have not refinanced them? So what I'm saying is that that's part of their wealth that they accumulated by owning property. So think real estate. Some people say, well, real estate is not good. Sure, it's not for everyone. But if you can afford to buy a home, buy a home. It doesn't have to be the best home in the city or in the community, but buy a home. Use it as a way to start building wealth. Another example, I purchased a home in 1991, held that home until 1998, walked away with, I won't give a number, but a good amount. And that was just in a basic community. It wasn't a high dollar area, but it was enough to where I was able to take that money and stair step to a better home without getting into a deeper into debt by using some of the funds for a larger down payment on the next house. So you can accumulate wealth in real estate by stair steps, one step at a time. Again, give me the thumbs up, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, email info@YenomEmit.com. Now, I'd like to point out, when it comes to education, financial education, read, find books on personal finance. If you can, find an organization or people who meet and talk about building wealth or personal finance. Birds of a feather flocks together. But if you're hanging around with people and all they're talking about is sports and entertainment, there's no value. It's okay sometime, but if that's their only conversation and you're the person who want to build wealth, then you need to be around a different group of people. Also, go to the website www.YenomEmit.com. Again, visit the website, look at the resources that we have, take advantage of those resources, learn how to build your personal wealth, learn how to increase your credit scores, how to decrease your expenses, how to negotiate for lower prices. Learn things like how to refinance your home at the right time, how to refinance your automobile. And speaking of that, that's an area that the average consumer never venture into, is refinancing their automobiles. And the reason I say that is because I see a lot of clients who have automobiles they've had for 2 or 3 years making payments on time, made decent down payments, but they're still on that same payment schedule. Get off that same payment schedule. Why? Because if you refinance the vehicle, it serves 2 purposes. One is to lower the payment. Because when you originally purchased that automobile, let's say nowadays $30,000, Let's say you put 5,000 down, you borrow 25. Let's assume you've been paying on that automobile for 2 years. And let's assume also that you owe 20,000. So now, first of all, you're paying a loan on you're making payments on a $25,000 loan. So refinance it. Now you're making payments on a $20,000 loan. Get that payment extended out to the maximum time that the bank will go, and you may have a lower payment, which in turn you save money. Other benefit, you paid off the first loan. So based on your credit, you paid that loan off early. Let's say it was a 5-year financing and you refinanced after 2 years. So now it showed that you paid that loan off in 2 years. So that's the power of financial literacy. Another area, insurance. And this is for people who are buying a home. And most of you who are buying a home know about this. I don't know if you use it, but if you don't, you should. And that's basically packaging all your insurance needs into one package. Your homeowners, your automobile insurance. Combine that into one package and you get a discount. And which means you save money. Now, what I also want to caution people on is, and as I always do on my videos, is that avoid these people, particularly when it comes to credit, and they're talking about all its secrets they have, how they have broke the credit code, and everything else. How they can increase your credit scores in 80 days by 100 points. I've been in the credit business long enough to know that's not true. And I did challenge one person. He hasn't responded back. And I sent the challenge out maybe 2 months ago. For he and I to do a one-on-one show about credit, because he's going on and on about how he broke the credit code. He goes into talking about things in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and he actually misinterpret the laws. But he tell people you don't need to pay someone, you can do it yourself, which is true. But he misinterpreted the laws in the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So don't believe a lot of these people, particularly those who only want you to buy a course. If they cannot provide you one-on-one, say, counseling, even if it's email counseling, telephone counseling, that might be a sign that they really don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to sell you a course that they most likely got out of some books or went online and got someone else's information. And they repackage it and selling it and putting themselves out there as a credit expert. But I do not put myself out there as a credit expert. I am a credit consultant, professional credit consultant, educator. I explain things to my clients. I make it clear what they can and cannot do and what they should and should not do when it comes to improving and increasing the credit scores. It's not difficult. It's not anything that's high tech. It's about information and education. Try it. Spend about half an hour a day learning about credit. Go to annualcreditreport.com. Get a free copy of your credit report. And you will not get the score. Sometimes you have to pay to get the score. And you want your FICO score. That's what most lenders use, is the FICO score. So once you know your credit score, take that and start running. Because it takes time. It doesn't take a long time. It depends on what strategy that you use. There are various strategies that you can use to increase your credit scores. In say 6 to 8 months, some cases later, again, depending on the resources that you have. And what I mean by that, if you have the money to pay off, say, your credit cards, or pay your credit cards down to get the debt ratio below 30%. And if you don't have a credit card, if you have the funds, $500 to $1,000 to get a secured credit card, use that secured credit card, or maybe 2 secured credit cards to start building or rebuilding your credit. If you have items on your credit report that are negative collection accounts, that depends. If those accounts have been on there particularly over 4 or 5 years, generally, you can just leave those accounts alone and just focus on rebuilding your credit. And there are ways to rebuild the credit. I mean, there are companies out there who will loan you money even with bad credit. Yes, the rates are high, but that doesn't matter, at least to me. And the reason I say it don't matter is because if you get a loan for 17% and you know you can repay it, then you get that 17% interest and you save on interest by making additional payments, paying the principal down as quick as possible. And that way the effective rate is lower. But don't carry a 17% interest loan for 3, 4, 5 years. The objective is to rebuild your credit, increase your credit scores, and then refinance that loan if possible. Again, give me the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Go to www.yenonemit.com. Look at the resources we have there. Look at the opportunities we have there. Look at how you can break the poverty chain. Because if you don't break the poverty chain, sometimes what happens, that chain stay connected. And what happens? There's the trend. Everyone in the family is broke because no one broke the poverty chain. And what I mean by breaking the poverty chain is, again, getting educated, educating your children, educating your grandchildren, teaching them about finance, teaching them about saving and investing opposed to buying and spending. Get them to understand the value of investing in stocks, investing in real estate, starting at a young age. Buy your kids stock for Christmas. Don't buy your kids high dollar sneakers. I'm a jogger. I don't buy high dollar sneakers. Most I ever paid for a pair of sneakers is $125. I heard people going out paying $300, $400, $500 for a pair of sneakers just to walk around in for fashion. Whereas if they invested that money for their kids in some type of stock for the future, good, like a blue chip stock like Coca-Cola, Microsoft. No, you can't buy a lot of shares, but it's a start. And if you invest on an annual basis, by the time that kid, let's say you start that kid off at 10, by the time that kid get 18, they should have a significant amount of money accumulated. So again, it's about education. It's not about how much money they accumulate, but it's about them understanding how they can build personal wealth. So when they see a pair of $500 sneakers, they'll think, hey, that's crazy. I'm not paying $500 for a pair of sneakers when I can take that $500 and buy some more stock. That's what works. Same thing with cars. A lot of young people, they want to buy a car. As soon as they start working, it's okay to buy a car. But a new car, a car you can't afford, that's the problem. So change your mindset. Change your mindset, and that will change your life. Again, my name is Ray. The show is No More Residing in Poverty. Now, if you have any questions or comments, again, email me at info@YenoemEmit.com, and I will respond. Okay, let's see. I'd like to have something else I'd like to talk about today. Okay, let's see here. I think let me get here one moment. I had someone who sent me an email last week, and okay, here it is. It asked me, what is the percentage of blacks that make $100,000 per year? And I did some research, and that's 27.3% of blacks make $100,000 per year, which sounds good. And it is good. Now that's gross. What about net? Now, on average, depends on what state you live in, that $100,000, you may actually net about $80,000, some cases $60,000. And that's what you have to look at. The bottom line, $60,000. How do you manage that $60,000? Go back to debt ratio. How much debt do you have? Most people don't know. They just know they're in debt. They don't know what their debt ratio is. Learn and understand debt ratio. Learn and understand budget. How to create a budget. Motivate yourself to stick to the budget. Some people it's very difficult. I've had clients, I set up a budget for them. It may last 1 month, maybe 2. And they go back to their old routine, old habits of spending. Some people are just not motivated to save and invest. And I guarantee you, when you motivate yourself to save and invest, you will be a lot happier. You will be smiling when you look at your bank account, when you don't have to wait until payday to pay your bills. You can pay your bills out of your regular money. Your paycheck just goes in the bank to keep the ball rolling. Simple. Now, I understand it's not for everyone, because some people, because of their incomes, they cannot save. They're on the borderline all the time, payday to payday. As a matter of fact, for those of you who have read my book, in the back of the book, I have a tombstone, and it's labeled RIP, R.I.P., resided in poverty, Mr. and Mrs. I.B. broke from payday to payday, because that's the way some people live. They are broke from payday to payday. Sometimes it's because of circumstances. Sometimes it's because of mismanagement. But even if it's because of circumstances, get control of your circumstances if you can. And generally, the circumstances is more bills than money. And how do you rectify that? By making more money. Simple. Get a part-time job. Start a part-time business. With technology, it's easy to earn additional income. It's easy to earn extra and more extra income online for those people who are into technology. Example, myself, I have 8 streams of income. Some people would ask, how do you manage it? It's 8 streams of income. It's organization, time management. It doesn't take a lot of time to manage online businesses. So if you have 3, 4, 5 online businesses, example, 3 of my revenues are affiliate. I'm an affiliate marketer. For you who do not know what affiliate marketing is, that's when you sign up to sell other companies' products by promoting that company's product on your website or in whatever means, through TikTok, etc. So imagine you set up 4, 5, 6 accounts as affiliates. You may not do great, but they all add up. So if you're getting, let's use for a low number rather, $200 per affiliate per month. And let's just say you have 5 affiliates that you signed up with, and you're getting $200, that's extra $1,000 per month, working from home, working your own hours. There are some programs that pay $200, $400. So the opportunities are out there. You just have to take advantage of those opportunities. Get educated. If you're not a technologically rounded person, learn technology, learn basic technology. I have people that don't know how to use a computer. It's not that difficult. It takes time. Take the time. If you want to build wealth, take the time to learn how to build wealth. Especially if you are a person and you would like to change your lifestyle. You would like to travel. You would like to go and shop and not have to be concerned if you have enough money. Like I say, I don't encourage people to buy material things when they're building wealth. Now, it is okay to buy material things once you can afford those material things. But don't buy material things when you cannot afford those things. Like I tell people, I like to see my bank account. I don't care about having a nice car in the driveway. I like a decent running, nice car, but it doesn't have to be a high-dollar luxury car or sports car. $100,000 in the bank or $100,000 on a car, which is better. Now, once you learn how to build wealth, once you have multiple streams of income, you can have both. You can have the dollars in the account, you can have the car in the driveway with comfort. And that's where I want to help you get. I want you to get in that comfort zone to where you don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about bill collectors calling you. And this is something that's, I'll say easy. It is easy. But it is based on education. You have to learn. You have to learn how to manage your finances. You have to learn how to invest in real estate, how to maintain good credit scores. And there are a lot of things out there to get into to build wealth. You first must decide what best fits you and your personality. I'm not a salesperson. I've tried sales, particularly car sales. I've tried car sales. I worked in insurance sales. I've done some door-to-door sales years ago. But I discovered I'm not per se a salesperson. Not where it required me to put pressure on people. Some jobs, sales jobs, require pressure. I will not sell someone something they do not need. That's why when I became a mortgage loan officer, I loved it because my job was to provide people or to help, say, consumers make a choice when they come to financing their homes. My job was to make sure this person got the best rate. Sometimes I even made, at least attempted, to make sure they got the best deal. If they were buying a house and they wanted to pay over the appraised value, I would suggest they not pay more than the appraised value. Some people do it because they just like the home. That's okay. But like I would always tell people, what happens if the economy tanks or the market goes downward? Now you're stuck with a house that you owe more than what it's worth, which did happen. Those of you who remember when the housing market crashed, a lot of people got stuck with homes that was they owed more than what the property was worth, and it's hard to get rid of a property like that. No one's, unless you find someone else who come in and want to pay more than what it's worth. But most people won't. So always buy with equity. That's what I recommend to my clients. When you buy a property, buy with equity. I don't care if it's $5,000. You can, and it is okay to pay the appraised price, but I recommend not paying over the appraised price. Appraised value. Because again, the downside protection. Okay, that's it for today. Enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.